So what's your journey like at Fountain Media?
This time, if you notice, I told you 3 pillars: family, music, digital. This begins to become the end of my music journey. At this time, any moment where, from the moment I came back from the Core Awards and I decided to start cleaning the airwaves, anytime I'd get an opportunity to perform, because people are still calling ASTAR to perform, I'd never go alone. Kwame Rigi, Plaz, now it's called Kirby.
So you're going there to showcase the new guys.
I would always go with guys. I went to UG with so many, to Tanzania with so many guys. I started going to UG, then I'm telling people, like Watoto Chacha, tell them, do you know a guy called Chris Ero?
So you're leveraging your star power to help guys.
Exactly.
Wow, that's noble.
Post-election violence happens. My boy, I'll always go back to this guy. You'll always hear me mention this guy's name all the time. Guess who? Kanji. Kanji gets another few $1,000s. I think this time it was $30,000. And we've been told, go around the country preaching peace. Tuvuke Peace Tour. Insert clip right here.
So we've just checked into mirrors, you can see anywhere in the bang in the center of the earth. In a race, too fast to keep up the pace. I got mace in my eyes, I can't see his face. I stepped in a shoe size 2 size big. I can't walk in the shoes, I can't take his place. Dear Lord, where you at? I can't find the base. I got the king, but the devil's got the pocket ace. I gotta fall, gotta go, I lost the case. Bad boy, welcome back, you can call me man. Hey yo, ace, start the light back in your face. Serve like Venus, verse 1 ace. Back like a boomerang, back to replace the lines that he told with the truth of his grace. Adios amigos, it's time to go. Hey yo, devil, you ain't holding me back no more. Hey yo, mic check 1 2, it's time to flow. Second time round, I'm letting it go.
All eyes on me, now watch me go, go, go. Me and my Jesus taking over, we gon' run this show. Hey-oh. All eyes on me, now watch me go, go, go. Me and my Jesus taking over, we gon' run this show.
We are here for one first reason, to unite us. We're here to unite us. Different tribes, we don't care what tribe you're from. Different ages, we don't care what age you are. Different colors, we don't care. But we are all beautiful in God's eyes. So I organize this whole thing. I invite my boy Ekodida, DJ Touch, Chris Ero. We tour again this country.
How's the reception?
It's insane. Remember, now we have perfected this art.
No, in terms of post-election was such a
so
serious
crazy. Now, I planned it. So, Paul, I keep it in this thing, but I'll stop.
It's okay.
I planned this thing from a perspective of healing. Remember, everything is an agenda. Music is just the arrowhead. Music brings people together. But me, I would figure out, use the music to push the agenda. The agenda this time is not clean the airwaves. The agenda is healing. So how do I craft a show using music to begin to bring about healing? How do I bring up opportunity for people to give their stories? So I crafted the whole show. It would start like this. We'd even do we used to call it a fracata. But the fracata would have music from all different tribes. On top of that, we'd do an opportunity for where people can come and sing. I mean, students can come and give their testimony.
I'm a Luo, and my grandmother did not think I can survive here if I come. The first time she heard that I was coming to learn in Meru, she was like, no, those people will catch you up. And my mom told her, you have to believe that everybody is human and they have a human side, so they just can't cut somebody up for nothing. And my sister told me, if I come here and find that people are too tribalistic, instead of saying I'm Camilla Florence Etienne, I should say I'm Camilla Florence Okenya. See yourself as a Kenyan, not as a Atieng, Anjoki, a Makena, or any other tribe.
Mi kwetu ni coast, yani Bamburi kule. Sasa watu wa Mombasa wanachukia Kikuyu sana. Sijui ni kwa nini. Sasa watu wote wa coast walikuwa wametoka wanamsupport Raila kwa sababu wanamrefer ka Tinga. Vile ilifanyika, vijana tu ka nyinyi wanachukuliwa, wanaambiwa tu waenda ka vunja manyumba za Kikuyu huko, wakaibe kila kitu. Yaani hata kulikuwa hakuna masi. Yaani kama ni Mkikuyu unapatikana huko, ulikuwa unauliwa, ukwe Mmeru, ukwe Mkamba pia walikuwa nauliwa. Hadi kulikuwa hakuna magari barabarani. Kila mtu yuko kwa nyumba, hakuna mtu ambaye hata anaweza kutravel. Sasa vile ilifanyika, ilisemekana kuna malori yanatoka huku Nai zimejazwa Mongiki. Hizo ndio zilibidi wase wa coast kule ndio walibidi wanyamaze. Sasa wakatulia kabisa. Kama ingekuwa sivyo, najua hata singekuwa hapa.
We are all equal. Au sio? Nikigomona ndai hapa nje saa hii nikose blood, ndaanza kusimama nikisema msana kuja kunidonate blood, naombe duwezi wa kabila yetu buda boss, relax. So the best thing kufanya ni let's advocate, unajua, for a tribal generation. See a tribal generation. Au sio? I like that.
You get about what happened to them. We pray about it. We watch Boniface's Mwangi's
pictures.
Not even pictures, his documentary. I've forgotten what the documentary was called. We watch it.
Nearly 2,000 people were reported dead. 600,000 people were displaced into squalid camps and reduced to beggars. The thousands of homes that are destroyed by arsonists. Thousands of families that migrated in fear of their lives to other regions of the country. The encountered incidences of rape of women and young girls that have gone unreported.
Hii kitu ilitoka wakati kura iliposemekana ati ilibiwa.
Sisi sote tulipiga kura. Mwenye alipiga kwa PNU, mwenye alipiga kwa OTM. Hakuna mtu wa kuathirika.
Brother was killing a brother, a friend was killing a friend.
Ni maiti tu imelala kwa barabara.
Pigs ate bodies here. I did participate. Tulichoma matatu pale juu.
A lot of the violence was perpetrated by young people. A lot of the victims of the violence were young people.
We did it.
Self-defense.
Self-defense. We did it.
For crying out loud, they were very innocent.
There is a cry on the ground to heal the nation.
And I want to pray for you. I want to pray for you that you will forgive whoever wronged you, whatever tribe wronged you, whatever individual wronged you, whether you know him or whether you do not know him. You will let it go. Why? Because unforgiveness is like taking poison and expecting that other person to die. Unforgiveness is the thing that stops you from getting to your destiny. So I want to pray for you. I want to pray for you that you will let go of the pain. Now, letting go of the pain is not a feeling. It doesn't mean now instantly you're going to feel good. No. It's just a decision you make. You're going to say, you know what? From today onwards, I've forgiven. I may not feel it inside, but it's a decision I've made. Just shoot your hand up and shoot it back down. And hands over across the room for them. You're one who can see them. Each and every person in this place said, stay seated. There's one last thing I want us to do. There are people here who have solutions. You get what I mean? I'd like to hear one person with any solution.
Cheki mabuda, kani mambo ya politics. Cheki sisi tunasupport mseju ni wa tribe yenu. Jaribu sakanya mseju kichenye yako nacho. Sinipose? Poa.
Ukiangalia chuo kama LD, unapata chuo imejaa wajaka pekee. So unaona, mtu kama Mkamba kienda kusomea huko, unaweza ona 1 over 800 anasomea huko. So italeta tribalism. So the best thing ni kumix mass today.
Because you are in a country, you have the power, you have the ability to change this country. You are told you have every human being has a solution to a problem in this world. And if you see that you are fed up with corruption in our country, you are a solution to it. If you see that your country is tribalistic, you are the solution to that problem. Go out there, change that.
My name is Chris Baba, and I choose not to be tribal, but I choose to be tribal. And I choose not to be part of the problem, but I choose to be part of the solution. For I am proudly Kenyan.
I'm not part of the problem, I'm part of the solution. I'm not in the tribal generation. I'm in the tribal generation. And I'm proudly Kenyan.
The people who truly believe this, the people who want to be part of this solution for the rest of their lives, one of a few things. First and foremost, when you get of age, get your voter's ID. 2, don't base your votes on tribe, but on principles and characters. And thirdly, and most importantly, if you're willing and saying, the one gift that you need, I'm going to take them, I'm going to use them for this amazing country that God has placed me in. If you're willing, I want you to stand up, and then you say exactly like this. My name is... I am not part of the problem. I am part of the solution. And I am So, but this time, remember, now my mind has kicked into level 9. So for me, while I'm doing this post-election violence, I'm also doing content. So I'm actually recording I carry with me a videographer.
So you have B-roll of this?
Not B-roll, documenting. So it's the way you see now social media guys, as they're doing things, they're showing you, they do a vlog of sort. So I'm vlogging this whole thing. This is 2008. This thing goes so huge, Carol Mtoko even calls me on to her TV station. Now I'm going to tell you a story I've never told anybody.
Exclusive.
Should I tell it?
No, come on, you can't do that to the guys, man.
Yeah. Anyway, so remember, all of these things is in retrospect. I want to make it clear. You get?
Yeah.
Me, I'm what is called a painless human being because God has dealt with so much in me. And I'm excited about the things that happened and the things that didn't happen in retrospect. At the time, sometimes you cry. And I think this is advice to somebody. You may be going through something hard right now, but later on, after you've overcome it, you'll be so happy that God blessed you so much to go through that hard thing, because that hard thing was the best sharpening tool to even elevate you above many other people. You get? For the thing that he needs you to do now. So, we're doing this to
Diamond is forged in gold. All these things are forged in fire. So
we're doing this to Vuki Peace Tour across the country. Then me, I'm like clean the airwaves. So of course I've got filming. Do you know who is filming? My boy Tony Maura, insert him in later. And then also Sammy D. Sammy D is an intern at Washamba Limited at the time, learning how to edit. Sammy D now is True D. He is the Don.
He's the editor.
He is editor, filming. He's got TV shows. He had a TV station.
So that time he was making his chops in the game.
Sammy D's first full video that he shot in terms of coming and filming or whatever was our Tuvuki Peace Tour. In fact, it was this one. Look at how work it is. I'm joking, Sammy.
How is the country receiving it? Because there's so many tribal connotations. ASTAR, or maybe you're from this tribe, you've come to this place. What's the reception?
Remember, we're going to high schools. My core was always high schools and universities. You get? In that place, it's a mixture of people. Yes. Remember, high schools, people come from all over the country.
Yeah.
So we go to Migori, but there's a guy in Migori who's come from Mombasa and he's giving the story. We go to Mombasa, there's a guy from Embu. There's a guy from Meru. We get? So the reception and how I've crafted the show, the power of music. Me, I'm leveraging on music to spear through people's hearts and open them up and make them be ready to receive the information. Love, we're dancing together, we're doing dance tales. And high schoolers have such an amazing vibe. And university students, you get what I mean? And we did it in a very unique way. So I've understood the power of content. So why I keep telling you, this is not just a podcast. People look at their podcast as podcast. Me, I'm intentional. Ministry is not even the word. It's so agenda intentional, what it is that I'm doing. It's why I don't mind saying some of the things that I say, even though they'll sound shameful to some people. Anyway, so I end up going to Kiss FM. Insert B-roll. So this day,
Kiss 100, still looking at your SMSs on 4994. Starting, of course, with bills this morning and all through today. "30 seconds.
EOTWE is a peace initiative that seeks to create peace ambassadors throughout the whole of this country. Youth ambassadors. So specifically where we are, it's youth ambassadors.
It's youth ambassadors.
Yeah.
Hizo magraffiti zilikuwa kwa matatu, hiyo ilikuwa ni job. Ninakumbuka kuna boy wangu alikuwa na earn 30,000 kwa siku kwa kuweka tu graffiti kwa
na kuna mtu alienda kutetea hiyo kitu parliament.
Nani?
The youth are constantly looking for leadership.
Today Raila becomes president.
So intestines being used as hanging ropes. It's crazy.
Okay, all right. Now,
wase walikuwa ndio hapo ukiona wewe mwenyewe unaona hivi wakikatoa na mapanga.
How old were you?
I was 14.
Imetuingia kwa kichwa, we can't do this again. No, and she has told me, anaona kina mama hapo wale wanauzanga nyanya sijui ni wanapatiwa nini 50 bob, 200 bob. And I'm thinking, I want you to be my president, you fool, not my homie.
Standards hazishukishi miaka. Bora wrinkles uko nazo.
Uko nazo.
Wale daily uniforms.
Stop translating. I'm also Kenyan. Kwenda. Patia EOTWE microphone.
So I go there.
You've been summoned by Caroline.
Yeah, no, I may email her and I tell Caroline, listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm going across the country as an initiative under Cleaning the Airwaves to Move Peace Tour. Here's a video of what we are doing. Caroline is like, amazing. Can you come and talk about this on radio? I'm like, you got me. I've even chosen EOTWE because EOTWE has got a song called Tribe All. You get? Wagenge Wakanda, beautiful people. Na, 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 beautiful people.
Wanduni wataka, beautiful people. Wakale wahala, beautiful people. Wasapere Masai, beautiful people. Kenyans, we are beautiful people. Wanduni wataka, beautiful people. Wakale wahala, beautiful people. Wasapere Masai, beautiful people. Kenyans, we are beautiful people.
We're a tight unit, me, Chris, and Chris knows all these dances, and it was well planned and orchestrated. So we're doing these shows. There was another lady who with, I forgot, who was she? Shiko was also with us, our logistical person, made everything happen. Big shout out. Anyway, so we're doing these shows. Caroline calls me on. So Caroline calls me on week 1. Then us guys go to another city. Come back. Caroline calls me week 2. Go to another one. I'm like, she's like, can you bring somebody else? I bring somebody else now who worked at the UN. You get? And then she comes onto the platform and she talks about what she's seen with the UN. Caroline like, nice, week 3. Then one day Caroline comes and tells me, Jao. Caroline calls me Jao. Jao, you need to take my job. I'm leaving KISS. It is you taking my job. I'm like, what? I'm going to be the main presenter on KISS FM. What? Like, I know God has plans for my life.
And Caroline Motoko was the biggest thing in local radio.
You have to understand.
My God, she was the biggest thing.
You have to understand at that time, radio is radio.
In fact, they had usurped Capital FM's reign.
Well, Caroline was the biggest morning talk radio presenter.
By far.
She commanded the biggest market share within Nairobi. You have to understand what it means. I even go and talk to Kanji. Kanji tells me, hey bro, going on radio is a whole different lifestyle.
So she wants you to do present? Because I know she had a bigger job other than just being a presenter.
Yes, no, she wanted to leave, I think, go abroad, and she was looking for a replacement, and she's like, it's you. My boss is saying it is you. Me, I'm thinking PQ is saying it is me. It is you.
And this is, again, I'm trying to clarify. Caroline was not just a radio presenter.
Yes, Caroline has never just been. Caroline is multitasker.
So she's telling you, take over my role.
Yes. I'm leaving. You are the replacement. In my mind, I'm like, but I'm also like, impact. Imagine the kind of impact. So I have a couple of meetings with her. She's like, it is you. Don't worry. So we're doing this.
Got you.
We're talking. I've even talked to the people in the back. On Monday, come, you're meeting HR. Monday, mteja wa nambari uliopiga.
Nani mteja? Wewe ama?
Caroline.
You're calling her, she's mteja. Oh my goodness.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
The mobile subscriber cannot be reached.
Then it will now be
mteja or not.
You get this time.
I hope you have not broken the news to like people.
What? I had, of course, I told Kanji. I told Kanji only.
Your girlfriend, who's now your wife?
Yeah, of course.
Guys, you've entered the big leagues now.
Yeah. No, at that time, I don't even, this was post-election violence. My wife came after. This is that time, you get. So I've just retracted a bit back.
So are you fantasizing? Because I know the feeling of being this close to a very big job. You already start living in it.
Yeah.
In your mind.
I'm living in it. My whole life has changed.
Salo.
I'm seeing it. I'm even like, okay, so I need to be sleeping at this time because I need to be at the studio by this time. Okay, I'm already even practicing. You get. Then that thing just goes. Don't speak again. And my heart just gets broken. I'm like, why? Why me? I'm just a young guy pushing.
What was the reason? Why did she stop picking? What changed?
I don't know.
Till today?
I don't know. Yeah.
Are you in contact?
Do you know the next time I met Caroline?
Yeah.
This picture right now that I've given you.
Did she have any apologies?
It was a shock. We are on stage together at Mavuno. Co-preaching. That's the next time from that conversation. we saw each other. But that time, God had already healed my heart.
So who took over? Who ended up taking over?
I don't know. She stayed there a minute. And then I think, anyway, I didn't see even, it wasn't even a thing. But to be honest, I'm so glad I didn't even go on radio. I am. So fast forward now, I'm head of TV and I just wanted to throw that story. Because imagine.
No, you can't have left that out.
Imagine the hopes and dreams that I had.
Kiss FM. That was the
money.
biggest.
First of all, I'm thinking about the money.
And it was quality. What I loved about Kiss is that they kept the quality by way of, yes, they had Nyambane, but it was not just
That time
garbage.
it was even Jalango.
It was
Jalango.
It was Jalango,
Yeah.
It was not just garbage. You know, it's kind of, what do you call this? The biggest. It's just now. Yeah. So,
but I don't think I wouldn't have cut radio. And also I think radio would have changed the way I do CTA. So now I'm at which station? I'm at Fountain Media. So you have to understand, in my life, I expect miracles. Till today, I expect a random person to call me and give me 1 million shillings. I'm not surprised by it. So by the time Carolyn is calling me and telling me this thing, I'm not moved. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm expecting it's part of God's plan. And then I'm also pushing it to try and make it God's agenda. Yeah, he's putting me on the airwaves as well because it's cleaning the airwaves. So yeah, okay, this is supposed to happen. You get? My life from that time of turning 25, my life has been miracles. Until miracles became norm to me.
The norm.
You get? I was on 3 TV stations and never gone to school for any of those things. I started doing tours across Eastern Africa like I'm a fly. This country.
In a time when no one is doing it in Kenya.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get? At that rate and for that kind of influence, and then now I'm loving it because I'm not going alone. There's a time I even in fact went to Uganda as ASTAR and I carried Michelle and Bupe along. Talking about Bupe, because I know you like going into this family side. Changing point in my life. So one day, my housemates, it's me, Bupe, and a guy called Shem. Bupe and me are in the same group. And one day Bupe comes and he's like, my dad has died. And I'm like, what? And now he has to go and his dad was in Zambia at the time. And he's like, what? And God, then I just think, my dad this time had flown back to Kenya.
Oh, so that touched you in a way that like you guys,
yes.
This separation, this bravado, I've been away for this long. I'm a tough guy. I've made it on my own. I don't need these guys. Look, I've scaled the heights.
No, but also I've forgiven. I've gone through now something called man enough. I've gone through sermons and I've forgiven, but there's been no reconciliation.
Which is a very big part.
Yes.
You can't forgive it. Well, you can, but it's important where possible. You can clean your side of the street and that's forgiveness, but where reconciliation is possible, especially when it comes to family. It's important.
And also,
it puts the seal on healing.
Yes. And sometimes, let me be honest, you don't need to reconcile, depending on the situation. For example, if somebody was super abusive to you, you get, in terms of, let's say you're married in a marriage, you need to forgive. Forgiveness is not an option. It is not. You get? Verse 3 of Public Apology, a song that I did, it talks about that. You get?
So your friend's dad dies, and what does this do? What does this do to you emotionally?
I'm like, I know I've forgiven, but have I asked for forgiveness? Because now this time I'm clear. This is a two-way coin. In fact, maybe you played 90% of the problem, so you need to go and ask for forgiveness. I jump into my beat-down BMW, which I bought because Giuliani had bought a BMW. By the way, Giuliani in this whole mix goes and becomes the biggest artist in the country, and I drive all the way to, my dad was living in Ridges at the time. First of all, I call him. I'm like, can I come and see you this evening? It's like, yes. I go there.
What are you thinking when you're driving there?
I'm just like, I need to apologize. Whatever happens, I need to say I'm sorry for all that I've done. Because it begins to, remember, I'm seeing children who are very well responsible, and I begin to realize even me how much wrong I did.
Your role in the whole thing.
Yeah, and my role, I'm just like,
that's the real growth, actually.
And my role, I'm just like, I was such a blessed. I have a silver spoon in I was born with a silver spoon, and the reason that silver spoon didn't materialize has nothing to do with anybody else. It's you. Despite what people did to you, you should have still materialized that silver spoon, or you should have still played your part.
You didn't even recognize
you
had
are the core. Why didn't you finish school? Do you know how much it costs for school fees? You were taking the best schools in this country. Why didn't you finish? Yeah, you're passionate about this music thing, but aren't you seeing how accounting and business is all falling into music and marketing? It's not just beats. You get? Aren't you seeing how web designing and all and digital falls into music? It's not just. So I'm beginning to look and be like, wow. Okay, I'm the one who messed up. So I need to go and beg for forgiveness. Before this, my mom had flown in and I had met with my mom. In fact, even my mom had bought my album. She must have been like, I'd met with her, but I had not met with my dad. I'd seen him one time.
This is 6 years now.
Yeah, he had come to Mavuno. I'd seen him. Like he came past the CD desk that I was, said this, but I was like, nah, I need to go and say I'm sorry. So I drove. It was the scariest thing of my life. I apologized. And when I apologized, I didn't feel a weight. And he told me, my son, I forgive you, man. I forgive you a long time ago. I didn't feel a weight lifted. I felt a confirmation that I had actually forgiven.
So was there excitement to see you? I mean, it's been 6 years. Or vice versa?
I think it was shock.
Was it awkward? Was it, hey, you guys, was it...
It was new. It was now you're on ground zero.
And I'm sure even appearance-wise, guys have changed appearance. Maybe your dad has aged a bit. You yourself look different to him.
Yeah. You get.
I think it's important to recognize the fact that at some point, sometimes we stay with our pride and we say we're forgiven. But real forgiveness is the ability to take responsibility for the role that you played in that relationship being damaged.
Yep.
That is the real version of starting to genuinely heal. Yeah.
So in all this life of being saved, I was always looking at the wrong that I was doing. You get? And now it got to a point where every altar call I'd just be like, oh my God, here we go again.
You are lashing yourself.
Yeah, I was. But then what I didn't know is that I was also getting healed. Do you get what I mean? It's why I can sit here and talk like this without anything. You get? This is not who I am. Me, I'm healed of I'm healed of these things.
And it's important to say for me, as the outsider looking in, because when I came for your CTA, your dad was around.
Yeah.
And one of the first thing I said was, oh, wow, I'm like such a pleasant guy. And you guys seem to have such a nice bond. This is before, of course, I knew any of this. So to see through this journey that we've reached so far and see how you guys are interacting, like no one would be able to tell, like that to me, the healing is apparent. And of course, it maybe it's still ongoing in its own version, but that guy is proud of you. And there's no even question.
And now
I'd known you for like that for maybe
a few minutes.
And I could see this is a proud father.
Let me say what you must have, and this is just a revelation I've gotten sitting here. You must have a point that you can point to say that you began the reconciliation. You see the way I'm able to verbalize the day I drove to his house. You get? And had a conversation with him. Now, this thing that you're seeing right now is a work in progress of that. And remember, there's years missed. And I'll say this so crucially. There's years when I'm turning from a boy to an adult. Because you don't turn to an adult at 18. 18 is a government figure that should just be jurisdicted for getting ID. That is it.
And going to real jail in few months.
Yes, exactly. But it shouldn't be that now this guy has become an adult. And one of the things that I'm learning in life, you have to make outward moments to show a transition. You know the way Africans use circumcision was a big one. Like when your child is moving from baby to teenage, it's important, or to preteen, it's important to do something to say from today, you get.
Have a ritual, and by ritual now with a positive connotation. No, ritual is always negative, but.
So I'm becoming an adult and I have nobody. I'm winging these adult things. But then remember, even them, they were winging it. And the ones before are winging it.
And I mean, you're experiencing success by any measure.
Yes, true that.
Yeah.
In fact, there's the moment we moved from Imaradaima to Jammu. Now at this time from Jammu, I'm like, by the way, I want to see grass. I'm done with this ghetto.
You're tired of concrete jungle.
I want to see grass. I want to see my Barbie life. And I moved to Kuna. Shout out to Kiki. I moved back now with my boys from Breba.
And the friends you're living with, do you guys have a collective? Because if you're a guy who's saved and you're living for Christ, you can't live with people who are not like-minded.
You can. Now at this time, I'm a different maturity. I mean, at this point now, I am in a different space. But also,
so you can coexist healthily.
Yes, in fact,
bills are paid.
Now I can coexist in a different way. You get? So this is when I'm at Fountain Media. Now how can I leave out this big moment? Something major happens at this time. So I go through a breakup.
That breakup, yes.
And then the day that I'm supposed to, let me show you how God can walla your life. The day that I'm supposed to be getting married, my friend who is not saved, and also remember my friends who I had known from high school, I always used to look at them like, you guys need to get saved. You guys, every moment I'm just like, you guys need to get saved. You get? So the day that I was supposed to be getting married, one of these friends calls me and it's like, bro, can I just take you? I know today must be a hard day for you. Can I take you for dinner? I'm like, yo, it's not my saved friends who've thought about me at this day. It's the guys who've been with me from day one. Like, yo, for sure, let's go. We go, and then Smalls, he's like, hey, you guys, I'm doing this event at the band. Can you guys come? So we go through.
Who's Smalls?
Smalls was just, he was on the Black Star. He was in the music industry, eventing. He invites me to the band with my pal. So we go there, Kabula is there, whatever. And then I'm just like...
Remind me, the club band.
The band.
Karen.
Ngong Road.
Ngong Road, yes.
Now here's the insane thing that happens that day. I'll never forget this. A guy from the Pulse. So I'm having a black ice, or not a Smirnoff, ginger ale, something.
Oh, I remember the Pulse. The Pulse had some danger, those...
The guy comes and snaps photos of me insanely.
Caught out. It was called caught out.
Like plastered it. This thing was put on the front page of the newspaper. You guys, that day changed my life. First of all, I'm just like, guys, first and foremost, this was a Smirnoff. You get? Number 2, I wasn't even getting turned up. Number 3, don't you listen to my songs to understand some of the struggles that I have with my life. Number 4, it trends. I'm like, number 5, I start losing gigs.
So how are you feeling about this? Are you feeling embarrassed? Are you like, guys, come on?
I am like, so my lyrics, guys, don't listen to them. Lord, please forgive me for the times that I did. The times that I said that I didn't, but I did. Hustling for paychecks, I did it for my gain. Blinded by the success, I did it for the fame. Lord, please forgive me for doing it over and over and over and over again. I keep saying I'll stop. I keep lying it's over. But deep down, don't want to put it down. No way. Off the narrow path, I'm cruising on the highway. Living life reckless, I'm doing things my way. I need to slow down. I try to go down on both knees. This is my public apology. This is my public apology. This is a song I wrote before. So I'm just like, I lose Groove Award ambassadorship. Gigs just start going. I'm no longer being put on stage at Mavuno. It's just, my world just starts crumbling down.
How did you feel when Mavuno put you off stage?
I understood it. But I'm like you, guy. But you see, they didn't put me off stage loudly. It was just somebody who called and said, by the way, from now on, you're not going to be on stage. It's just that I was never another option ever to be on stage. And nobody talked to me about this thing. Groove Awards didn't talk to me and tell me, by the way, we are chomoring you now because you can't be doing this. And you're here. It just goes silence.
Do you have the picture?
And then you're seeing the gigs.
Can we put the picture up of you?
I'll look for them. Yeah, I'm like, first of all, it wasn't even a tale. It wasn't even like it was Bacardi. It was a Bacardi. Remember, it was a Bacardi Breeze and something was being whatever. It was so harsh. I'll never forget. I was just like, oh my God. Here we go. Who
stood by you? What are your friends telling you? What is your now wife telling you at the time?
No, that's my married.
Or not? But you guys, you were at
We're dating.
Fountain Media.
Yeah.
She stood by you?
Yeah, my wife, my whole life has stood by me. Even in my madness, good and bad, she stood by me. But what that did for me, I was like, okay. There's a religiousness that I also need to get over. You get?
And churches.
Yes. I need to accept now who I am. So what that did, it made me say, by the way, I'm going to be who I am. You get what I mean? I'm going to be me.
What does that mean?
It means that now, for example, now I'll easily have a smash if I go to Cultivar.
What's a smash?
Smash is maybe a drink with gin, and I'll feel nada about your perception about what it is that I am. You get? I'm not a drunk, but I'll have my one drink. I'll have my wine. You get what I mean? I won't do things with the perception of what is this guy going to think about me? What is this guy going to think? Because the fame had risen me to a point even where it had gotten into my head.
You became a prisoner of the perceived image of what you're representing.
Exactly. You get? But at this time, I'm falling. At this time, I don't even, you see, I can't even articulate it proper. But that thing freed me. And I was like, okay, even this chapter of music, if I am to proceed, then this chapter of music as it is gone. But also I had felt the anointing go a long time. By the time of my second album, I had felt that this space that I'm in music has already ended, but you're forcing it. When I went to now Fountain Media, now turning point. So I go to Fountain Media and I'm putting content on, but then we're putting Nigerian soaps, and I'm just like, first and foremost, I can't sell advertising space onto this thing. It is irrelevant to the target audience.
So what was the aim? Why are you putting Nigerian music?
Because we had just bought content that was cheap. And me, I had gone there with the passion of wanting to create content.
So you're trying to get that, they were trying to get traction with just having
content. But me, I'm trying to put the right content. I'm trying to shoot the right content. I'm trying to, I'm saying for us to get advertisers, we need to create this kind of content to reach this kind of demographic. This kind of demographic, we need to consistently reach them so they can be watching us, because there's a lot of competition. So we need, if we're going to buy, we might as well buy some good quality shows at this time. So to get this demographic, so now I can go and get this kind of sponsors. Same thing works on digital right now. You get, end of the day, the sponsor is only interested in who's watching this. That's why they're coming here. Yeah, the eyeballs. And not the magnitude, the magnitude of eyeballs, the quality of the eyeballs that will buy their products.
Say that again. Because I had an argument with someone the other day, and I was trying to explain to them what the quality viewer is. Quality viewer is, you want someone who at some point you can actually leverage the fact that they're watching you.
Yes.
To some mutual benefit.
But it's a bunch of things. So first and foremost, your content needs to be authentic to you. So you're going to create content that is, especially when I'm talking about now in this space, that is authentic to you. Then now that content will bring a certain demographic of people watching. So for example, it may bring people who are in the corporate market space. Now the corporate market space, they can afford an iPhone. So you're able now to go and pitch to iPhone and say, listen, I don't have 1 million people watching me, but I have 10,000 people watching me, and look at their demographic. Look at the kind of conversations that we have. Look at the language with which we speak. Look at the intellectualness with which we speak. These guys are this kind of demographic. Therefore, if you advertise this product, hence these guys will buy. It's why there's micro-influencers, macro-influencers. It's not just about Eric Omondi's 2 million. You get, sometimes you'll even target those micro things, but you're advertising a trip to Australia and Malaysia. That audience can't afford this.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So there's space for everybody if you know who it is that you're targeting. Do you get what I mean? You're able to look at their how much do these people spend on entertainment, on food?
So is your boss at the time understanding this, or for how it's like mass?
They're just like, yo, we guys have already bought content. Get advertisers. I'm like, yeah, but the content we are putting, and this is for this kind of demographic. We can't put kids content and then this content and then this content. I'm like, things are changing and you need to let me do me. And you said we're going to create content. You know what? This digital space I thought was a space for me, but I need the real digital space. I actually need to go and work at Google. God, I need to go and work at Google. So, God, I'm going to work at Google. Hello? Am I speaking to Richard? Yeah, my name is Amanda and I'm calling you from Google. I'd like to meet you.
Wait, no CV thrown that way?
Goes crazy. Hello? Am I speaking to ASTAR? Yes. My name is Amanda and I work for Google and I'd like to meet you. That's weird. Sour.
Wait, so you just called Richard and you called ASTAR?
Didn't I just tell her that? Didn't she just call? I'm like, we've agreed. No problem. We'll meet at Java. Sour. Okay, cool. Now, I go meet Amanda. Amanda loves me. She's like, by the way, you guy.
White lady, black lady?
Huh? Black. Amanda, amazing, beautiful, but beautiful inside and outside. Amanda, I love you. Thank you so much for everything that you did for me. So Amanda is like, I speak with her. I tell her about all these things, about understanding content creators. This is what I could do. Oh, this is what you're trying to do. Okay, no problem. She's like, I really love you. I need to introduce you to my boss. Okay, cool. So I leave her. An hour later, ASTAR, where are you? I'm like, Amanda, we just spoke.
So how she's at this point she's thinking ASTAR and Richard are two different
people referred her to me.
Is that because of the footprint you had left as both?
So I had gone to Giuliani.
Oh, that's cool.
And I had trained Giuliani on G+. And I used to talk to Giuliani's manager, I used to call Mwakezi. I used to tell him, what are you doing? You're not monetizing Giuliani's platform well. So Google called Mwakezi and asked him that you need to do a job. We've got a job for you at Google on digital. I really like Giuliani's thing. Mwakezi like, it wasn't me. You need to talk to a guy called ASTAR. Somebody else refers Richard to them. So I end up going and I meet them and they're like, we love this guy, but we need to take him through the system. So they take me through the system and I'm passing. Please note me, I've never applied for a job. It gets to this stage. They're like, oh, by the way, sorry, you can't get this job because you don't have education qualifications.
That's papers, yeah.
Yes, you don't have education. You dropped out of school. Now this time I've reached Fazana, head of Google marketing at that time. I've reached
and what's the role there?
The role is going to be head of G+, community management. Your job is to introduce G+ into the region, not into the country. Because, and I'll tell you, because Facebook, how it worked is Facebook was kicking Google's ass because social media had now come in and a platform called Facebook had come in. And people were now spending their whole day on Facebook, meaning they're not going to check websites out, meaning there's no advertising happening. And because Google makes money from Google ads. So these guys were like, oh my God, there's this new thing called social. We need to catch up on social. So let's G+, let's get guys come. So me, I go and I tell them, by the way, imagine I do this whole madness proposal and all these other things. They're like, this guy truly understands. I tell them, listen, I've got networks in the industry. I'll educate artists on this. They're like, hey, this guy, clearly he can do the job. But now they come and tell me you don't have papers. And I look at them and I say, on the continent, I am the most qualified person to do this job. You have to pick me.
Point blank.
Yeah, and I leave. Then they call me like 2 weeks later. This time I've told this Fountain Media deuces, me, I'm going to work at Google. The chick tells me, God hasn't said that you're going to work at Google. I'm like, imagine, I'm going to work at Google. My wife is supporting me. She's like, you guys, you're crazy. How do you just leave? I'm like, I'm going to work at Google. Now I'm in the leaves. Oh my God, what did I do? Why did I leave? You know what you get?
But Google is the biggest league.
But me, I was like, it was, I need to create the content. This system, I can stay here for the paycheck, but it's not working in terms of the content creation. It doesn't work. This model doesn't work. Here, we're just chilling here for chums. And me, I don't work like that. God had already put it for me in Google, and Amanda calling was only a confirmation. Getting past all these levels of interviews is another confirmation. Then they call me, they're like, listen, there's going to be a final interview. Come with a proposal of what you're going to do. So me, I pray, I tell God, by the way, imagine you need to give me a proposal. So God, cool. I go. When I enter the room, I thought it was just going to be me.
So do you have to prepare a formal proposal?
Yeah, I just come up with my own idea. I'm like, this is what if I get the role, this is what I'm going to do. This is my networks. This is what I have. This is how I'll start. This is what I'll do. Secondly, this is the third stage I'll do. I just explained what I'll do if I get the role. So I enter the place and I just see, when I enter, I'm alone. I'm like, you got this job. I go, I do my proposition. I know I kill it. I walk out, I see like 7 people. And one of the people who I saw, I'll never forget, was Nanjira, another chick called Nanjira. Nanjira had just graduated with actual science. I'm like, me with my no papers, I'm gone. I leave Google and I say, God, this is my job. And I walk around. Google is a push-a-tom. I walk around, and I'm just praying. I tell God, God, imagine this is my thing. You gave me this vision for cleaning the airwaves. This is the space. It now needs to go to this thing. You guys, they call me like a month and a half later. A month and a half of that agony, ups and downs.
And this time on the other side, you already kind of alluded to your boss and me about.
Not alluded. I'm already out.
You've left.
I've already left.
So there's no paycheck coming in.
There's nada. But it's not even that. It's just the stress of, oh my God, I need to work at Google. God, I have to. It's not even about that. I don't want to go back to my job. Even if they call me back, I'm not going. Because my eyes are focused on Clean the Airwaves. And at this time, Clean the Airwaves is empowering people to create positive content using the digital space. You guys, they call me, they say, you've got the job. I'm like, yes! But we're not going to hire you as an employee. What we're going to do is hire you as a consultant. And we're going to pay you twice. Yes!
We're going to pay you twice than you'd have earned as a...
250 G's a month.
Damn.
Easy. Now I start doing educating guys on Google. I start doing, so I'm telling them, you guys, the only way this platform will work. I start doing G+ Hangouts. I start doing them at Jazzo Dongos. That's how, in essence, I started cleaning the airwaves. I would go, they would do, they'll put a satellite on top of Jazz's house, get in internet, would do Google Hangouts.
This is Caledonia.
This is
Kileleshwa.
Yeah. Put there, we connect internet there, high-speed internet. A crew comes for filming. Bean, Alan, and Edu G, they would film. So now I would tell Mugash, come on to interview you about your journey.
Are you putting it on? Have you started the page yet?
Yes. So I advertise it on Facebook, but I tell people, hey, this is the conversation going to happen on G+. This is live streaming. No one is doing live streaming at this time. This is 2014. No one
you
is
guys
doing
were going live in
streaming.
2014.
We're going live. Wuko, I interview Mugash, I interview Ankiguta, I interview DJ Moz. Then I'm about to interview Octopiso. They're like, I'm like, you guys, we need to fund content creators. Noel Derito, I do his album launch. I interviewed Kanji versus Aaron. I do the live stream of them doing piano and voice. No one was doing the live stream at this time. No one. Then one day Google comes and says, we'll keep paying you, but then stop working. I'm like, listen, I need you to fund. Why are they saying stop? Because I'm telling them, I need you to fund content creators. People are not going to come to G+ unless there's content being produced by these guys. When I've interviewed This Is S, by this time there's only 4 people I know who's producing content for YouTube. Kangai Mwiti, who had already done 1 million views at the time. This Is S, who even I have an interview. Here's a photo of me and I at Google playing pool. I interview Mutua Matheka. I call many guys, K2, K1, Giuliani. I interview so many guys.
K1 is K1 for context also. Who was?
Makmende.
Makmende. And there was K1 was Makmende, K2 was... Yeah.
Now they do the best burgers in the country. Shout out to K2. Anyway, so there's all these things that I'm doing. Mutua Matheka, I'm interviewing these guys. I'm telling them, what do they need? And it comes down to, these guys have everything that they need. They just don't have their chums.
So why are Google telling you to stop
Because
working?
they're like, we have a policy, we don't fund content creators. But I'm like, if you don't fund content creators, how then are people supposed to create content to come and see you? So I said, let me do trainings. Here's the photos of me training the industry. None of these guys were content creators that time. Like the way you know them.
Yeah.
These guys have now become the big wigs. Patricia Kihoro. My wife, of course, is also in that mix. You get. So this is the trainings that I was doing at the time. And I'm just telling guys, go digital.
So you are the advent of these guys is launching their YouTube page.
No, I'm just educating. I'm trying to empower people. I'm just like, education is power. These guys I can see are creatives, but they're not seeing this content creation space the way this content creation space can be maximized. Musicians, all they want at this time is music videos, and I'm coming there. So Google told me, don't do anything else, we'll be paying you. Now I'm making money, but I'm so sad. I'm so sad because I'm just like, these guys, they've missed this thing so insanely. But I'm saving money for my wedding. So I'm happy.
So this time you proposed.
I proposed. My wife has said yes. I'm in gearbox. Me having gearbox. I'm happily ever after going
Have
to marry.
Have you told your family you're getting married?
Yes.
Because this is after the drive to your dad's.
Yes, I've told her. I've told my mom. A bit of drama happening because in that version they're not together. I'm doing the best that I can. You get what I mean? In terms of this getting married situation. But then now something crazy starts happening. Hey. Wow. Remember I told you about obedience to God's voice?
Yes.
God is going to test you. To me, I've saved all my money for getting married. Me, I'm good. And now it's a season where my friends are getting married. So I come to church. And God's like, hey, homie, your boy there is getting married. Give them some money. I don't have chums. It's like, nah, you've got money.
But you have chums.
I'm like, okay, I'll show more 25 G's and give them. God bless you. You go, I got you, man. God's got you. So next Sunday, hey, homie, your guy's getting married. I'm like, hey, 25 G's again? Power. 50 G's gone. Hey, homie, your guy's, I'm like, God, getting married. And don't give them 25 G's. Go and max out your ATM. That time ATM could max, you could
so
max 40 G's.
How are you explaining this to madam?
Madam knows. Madam knows. If God says, God says. See, God said we go to Google. See, I'm there. See, you've seen. Where did this money come from? So my wife, from the beginning, has known. First and foremost, I told when I met my wife, I was open. I told her this is how much money I have in my account.
Let me tell you.
The day she was shocked. She saw like 200 bob. She's like, that's it.
A good wife is a superpower.
Yes, extreme. My wife, when I would be crazy, I'm like, what did I do? Why on earth did I leave? Why did I decide to go to Google? She's like, you've got the job. You've got this thing. And my wife would pray for me. She's like, you've got this. Aren't you following what God is telling you? Yeah. And I'd be down some of these times. I'd be like, Yanni, what's going on? She's like, are you following what God's telling you? I'm like, yeah. Then do it. You get? Do it. So now I've started giving out my chums. Now it's getting scary. Now I'm even hating going to church. Because every time I go to church, I see. And God tells me, go to your account.
And this is specifically for weddings.
Yeah.
For people to wed.
Imagine. This is thing.
You realize how powerful that is, eh?
The guy says, so some of these people have started calling me now 10 years later to tell me you don't know what you did for me. And I'll tell you why this is so important. So now it moves to take your checkbook out. I'm like, this is madness. Now you've taken cake, you've taken wedding dress, you've taken what's going on? Right. There's one day he told me, carry a checkbook. I'm like, nothing. This is nothing. I put the sleeve but I carried a sleeve. And this for me was the turning point when I know, okay, God's got me.
And this voice again, that's to demystify. This is a very strong conviction.
It's such a strong conviction that even I begin shaking in church. Like I can't even, I know everything. So, but then sometimes I'm just like, no, this can't be God. This cannot be God. So I remember that time for carry the check sleeve. So I carried, in fact, one of the guys who called me, maybe 1 month ago, to tell me about what that did for them. You get? And I was like, thank you for sharing that. But I've moved on, I forgot it. Anyway, so this day God tells me, carry your checkbook. And I'm like, hey, God, now so I carried just a sleeve. So during church, he tells me, write 100 G's. I'm like, now you're finished me. You finished me. I'm not doing it.
That's the last 100.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I've given out in 25s, in 50s, in whatever. You get? Just every day. Now it hit a point where you're seeing just it's dwindling from 6 sock. So going. And haba na haba ujaza kibaba. And the opposite of that, whatever it means, whatever it is. Like it goes. Now I know I don't even have tune for the wedding. You get? And I'll never forget this. So that one, I look and then God tells me, so in church tells me, give that guy a sock. I'm like, imagine I'm not. Then later on we go for an event and we sit down together with Kanji and this guy and other guys. We sit down. Then this guy's been like, hey, so dude, you're about to get married. What's the one thing that's disturbing you? He's like, hey, imagine me. I wish I had a paps because it's very difficult for me without a father to understand this thing, a provider. It's so difficult. And God tells me, now you see, you're preventing this guy to know I'm his father. I go to the bathroom. I sign the check. I tell him, I've been carrying this the whole day. You have a father and your father is God. Take it. Now I have 0 bob. My wife is about to graduate cum laude, masters. I'm getting married in less than a month. But I forgot to mention, when I'm finishing G+, because G+ don't renew my contract, Google, they don't renew my contract, but they have taught me all these things. So suddenly my brain has ideas on content marketing that this country has never seen. So I go and form a company. And that's when Moapi, actually I'd already formed Moapi Entertainment. Google even used to pay Moapi, but that time it was sole proprietorship. So remember, I'm now at 0 bob on wedding. Pack that because we're coming back to that. But now when I'm leaving Google, I'm like, let me go and buy, and I want to mention the name of the company. Let me go and buy shares into this company. But before that, let me go and pitch these ideas that I have to these corporates. So I go to Chase Bank. Actually, I didn't even go to Chase Bank. I go to my mom to get understanding of, as a company, because this Moapi, I was operating it Kifwa. So what do I need to do to structure? As you can see now, I'm talking to my mom. You get, what do I need to do? My mom tells me, come to Mothaiga. I meet at Mothaiga. I'm like, damn.
Country club.
No, not country club. The golf club. Yeah, I'm like, damn. My mom and my parents are golfers insanely. So I'm just like, hey, Yanni, it's been a while since I've been in this with Barbini. It feels good to be back.
Those green lawns.
Yeah.
We'll have to put a picture of Mothaiga Golf Club right there.
So I'm telling my mom what business that I do. I'm explaining to her. And then my mom invites 2 of her friends. Now, one of her friends is listening to me. And the guy's like, yo, bro, me have an e-citizen idea. You seem to understand this digital marketing thing. Can I meet you, Kesho? I'm like, yeah, cool, no problem. But if you want to meet me, I live in Kuna this time, next to the bypass. I'm like, catch me at ABC, Java. Bill on you. Because me, I'm like, hey, pockets are not being messed. Bill on you, the guy's like, cool, let's meet tomorrow. So the next day I meet and I'm teaching him about this, what you need to do for digital, this, what you need to do, this, what you need to do. Then he's like, dude, my wife is coming. She just lives here. She works here at Chase Bank. She's the marketing manager of Chase Bank. I mean, the branch head of Chase Bank, ABC. Let her come. So she comes and sits down. So me, I'm explaining to this guy digital. The lady looks at me. She's like, who the hell are you? I'm like, hey, Chile, what's going on? She's like, as Chase Bank, we've just spent 1 million shillings at Great Rift trying to understand digital and this thing. And here you are explaining it like a baby. Like you're breaking it down so well. Like, can I organize for you a meeting tomorrow morning? I'm like, yes. Remember, my default answer is always yes. Figure out the rest. So she's like, tomorrow you're going to meet all the directors and the owners of the bank. Come and present. This thing that you've told me right now, come. So I'm like, done. I go home, I'm like, God, you need to give me an idea of what I'm going to pitch to this person. God gives me 3 ideas that till today, they've not yet even materialized. Idea number 1, Kenya may change. Idea number 2, pass the baton, which became what you're calling CTA right now. Idea number 3, old boy, old girl. Never done this one till today. That chick tells me, be here by 10 a.m., no 9 a.m. At midnight, she calls me, Richard, I don't know what I did. I've called everybody to meet you. Are you ready? What am I doing? I don't even know you. Please don't let me down. She's now going through an emotional roller coaster.
So much for little pressure, proper pressure.
She's just hit her that I've invited all the bosses of the company, put them all in a room, told them that I've found the solution to digital.
From a stranger yesterday.
She's just randomly met. She's not her, she's panicking. Me, I'm like, as usual, miracles happen. But I go and pitch. I tell them, this is what I have. I've got 3 ideas for you. Idea number 1 is called Kenya May Change. So what Chase Bank were trying to do was get the diaspora to open up accounts. And I tell them, the diaspora have not been home in years. So if I just put cameras on top of the car and we just drive. And as we're driving, we drive from point A to point B, from Chase Bank to Chase Bank, from the airport to the Chase Bank at thingy. And in that, I'm putting pop-ups. I'm putting, AKA this. Here's a small snippet.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Kenya May Change. My name is Mugambi Ndega. I'm going to be your host for this, and it's so good to be back home. Now, Kenya May Change is brought to you by Chase Bank, and it's a little online show that's here to show you just how much your country has evolved. It's madness. I'm talking about infrastructure, opportunities, culture, real estate. I'm saying, you guys, this place is growing, and I'm going to show you firsthand just how much. We're going to go out there on the road. Cameras are going to be rolling. It's almost like you're going to be here. It's going to be awesome. I think I'm going to have some good old Kenyan coffee, and then I'm going to join you. So how about we go, yeah? Let's do this. Kenya May Change.
It's official. We're on Mombasa Road Highway, heading towards the CBD. See all the new and ongoing developments along and around the highway? Directional signages have been crucial on this road owing to all the new bridges and connection points. Trust me, you don't want to miss a turn along this road. Also, look out for Mathris entering the highway while on this stretch. Yes, We have some awesome footbridges all over Mombasa Road, making it easy for pedestrians to cross the highway safely. As you can tell, the bridges were built with the pedestrians' convenience and easy usage in mind. Talk about convenience. Mombasa Road has come a long way from the days of a simple dual carriage and vast pieces of undeveloped land around it. If it's been over 10 years since you were last home, you may not believe how different things are. Kenya may change na may grow, fellow Kenyans, and the change we must admit is BEA beautiful.
Yo! We're only a few minutes fresh out of the airport, and already, look, this is how much Nairobi is changing. Before we had office spaces in tall buildings far away from each other, but instead of a CBD cropping up here, we have stuff like this, the Samia Business Park. This is 500,000 square feet of office space set in 5 blocks. But it's not just office space, it's showroom for cars, yeah? And it also has a restaurant and a coffee place. So you can do your whole work day right here. That there behind me is one of the many Chase banks that you're going to see during the course of this show. But I have been told that there's an actual Porsche dealership right here. We'd have gone there, but it's closed. You're gonna have to see it for yourself. For now, let's continue this journey, right?
They accept the show. They're like, do the budgets. I do the budget. I write 14 million. Like, okay, no problem, done.
14 million is a number you actually tabulated, and so my costs are going to be 14 million, or you did the Kenyan thing, or?
I just did the Kenyan thing because in my mind, I'm like, this is digital. But this time people are thinking TV production.
Or their mind has not yet switched.
In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to buy 3 GoPros, put them on the multi and just go. Because my mind is digital. I don't know about these helicopters that to take shots, nini. I'm just like, I'm going to buy 3 GoPros, put the GoPro in front of the car, this, that, the other. So by the time
that is mind blowing. The fact that you are seeing digital, most people are still seeing that old format, and
it's 2014
until today, there's still people who are stuck.
2014, and I had these 2 other ideas. They loved them. They're like, let's just first start with this one. They're like, when you're ready to start. So we have back and forth. Nazneen, big shout out to you. Jambi, big thank you to you. These are guys now working at Chase Back. You get. Then on top of that, they're like, this guy knows how to live stream. So now they start calling me even to do their live streams. Because I was telling them, you guys have got a run. See, the people who are going to be at the branch. Well, these guys are running. People who are at the branch, I can make them have the experience. I'll live stream this event while it's happening. And put it on I'll even do some small interviews here and there. And I'll put them all your Chase Bank screens, the people can watch. Love it. Power. So now, all this while my G Plus thing is going down. So I in the mix of this, I decided, let me get into this company.
So they gave you 14 million?
No. What they did, they dropped it in tranches. Oh. So I'll tell you how crazy it is. So now I go into this company. I've given out all my chum for getting married. This company is production house elegance. They are doing insane things. I'll only talk about one so people don't find out which company this is. We're doing Coke Studio editing. That's one of the things you get. So me now I become a director of this company.
That's not Kina Sean.
I'm not going to mention any name, but no, it's not Kina Sean. But I'm not going to eliminate. Now guys in the comments are going to go and try to deduce.
You know Sean though, Peavers.
No, it wasn't Sean Peavers. Maybe it was the person who Sean Peavers had outsourced.
Okay.
I want to be shocked if it is. Anyway, so we get into this thing. And now, I'm like, these guys are like, your wedding, forget your 600, we'll pay $1 million for your wedding. I'm like, yes, God is good, God is good, God is good, God is good.
They offer to foot the bill for your wedding?
Yeah. So I'm now a director.
With 400K on top of your initial budget.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. So I'm thinking
so I always say, guys like you, from your journey to this point, you should never have doubt. And that's how, I've been trying to...
No.
Let me explain to the listeners, because I've known you now properly for like a month.
Yeah.
And one thing that keeps confusing me about you is I've always looked at myself as a saved guy. I know I've moved from this point, this dispensation in my life. I'm now more saved. I think I'm answering the will of God. Then I meet ASTAR, who moves strictly off obedience. And I keep wondering, what is this? How did you get there? But now I'm starting to get a picture. I've gotten a picture of how you've reached where you've reached of art obedience, because it always works out in the end and with less turmoil every time.
Bro, are you insane? I've not finished this, Doro. But one thing I'll tell you, remember what I told you, 25? Faith. Glory to God, faith. So everything that I am telling you, it's not, can I explain how my mom happened to invite this guy? Can I explain how I said ABC and I thought that guy's wife would be there? Can I explain how that lady herself thought she was crazy that she's invited all the owners of the thing? All of this is none of my thing. Can I explain how I ended up working at Google and 2 people called? None of this. When you hear my story, you cannot say this guy is clever. You can't. And if you do that now, you've lost it. You've missed the
divine
picture.
hand.
It is clear that there's somebody else who's orchestrating this guy's madness and making me look good as me I am in the world of obedience. You get? It's like how Moses walked directly to the ocean. How stupid is that? There's an ocean. But the moment he puts the thing in, now we're all telling this story about how he split the sea. But it's God who split the sea through Moses.
Obedience.
Yes. Now, Amelia's been paid. Now, Chase Bank, we're talking. We do a pilot. They don't like my version of they pay for the pilot. They don't like my version of the pilot. They're like, no, it needs to be a bit more, production. I'm like, guys, so they pay more. We do that production version. They're like, no, we don't like this. We actually like your other idea, the way you did it, very digital.
So they wanted the more generic.
So I did my way first.
The robot version.
For a pilot.
Yeah.
They're like, it's too, what they were trying to say, it's too budget, it's too low quality. But they didn't understand that low quality. That's what the thing. So when they pay more, when we do the big budget one, they realize, shucks.
Times have changed.
We really like this thing. So now they say, okay, now do another pilot of this version. So they pay. But at that time, this company that was supposed to be paying my wedding, I'm beginning to realize if I stay in this environment, me and my wife, our marriage won't last.
Why is that?
Because of, and I say this not to put anybody to shame, but just to say the sacrifice that I did. Because of the questions which were being asked to me, why are you getting married, bro? How would you want to get married? You insane, marriage. Bro, let's enjoy marriage.
My producers can tell you yesterday I was told only crazy people get married.
So I'm just like, what on earth? Do you get what I mean? I'm like, no. Now you make a choice.
So you're basically saying the vibes were those negative corporate vibes, toxic men, influence.
Yes. And if I stayed there, my marriage would not last. But this woman I loved. So I crossed the road. I leave that company. And I crossed the road with 1,000 shillings in my pocket. I'll never forget James Gishuru. And there was a woman there with a baby. And I said, let me give out everything. And I went into my pocket and I pulled out the last chums I had and I gave her. And I told God, I was responsible. I saved my wedding money. You spoke to me directly. And you, God, you told me to give out these things. All of it. This space here that I have left is because of you. Now, God, here is where we have reached. I know how to make money. But me, I am living this life of faith, where it is obedience. So I'm going to be very clear with you. I'm not asking a soul for a coin. I am forming zero committee. If you come through for my wedding, for the rest of my life, I will live like this madness life of obedience, of faith, of hearing. If you don't, there's ways to make money. And I saw other ways to make money. And what I'm talking about is there's the kickback way. There's a scratch my back, I scratch your back way. There's the Kenyan way to make money. You get what I mean? You get? That sounds norm, but it's not. That should not be norm.
We've normalized it, but it's not normal.
Even today, a guy was telling me, bro, if you go today morning, because I went to the airport, I met some pals, and one of the guys was telling me, you watch your integrity rubbish. If you go to Nigeria, bro, at the airport, because we're talking about different airports, while we're waiting to pick up different respective people. One of the girls told me, bro, in Nigeria, there's nothing like that. You have to stop and give a dollar. You have to go there with many dollars because you're always being stopped and being bribed. Don't go with your integrity ways. I said, I'm not going like that at all. So I tell God that and I go. I'm getting married in a month. How much do I have?
Zilch.
0. Random guy comes and gives me 30 G's. I'm like, hey, what do I do with this 30 G's, God? God tells me,
What do you mean random guy?
So now I start getting the madness. One guy tells me, God has told me to give you these tunes for your wedding. So I give it. I'm like, no problem, hey, thanks. So God, what am I to do with these tunes? Give it to the pastor. I call the pastor, how much are you supposed to charge for your wedding? He tells me 14 G's. Telling me, God has told me to give you this. I give him the whole 30. Me, I was waiting to fail. This thing was so hard because the closest friends around me, and I say this with love because we are easy with all of them. I'm easy with them. We are different ages, different stages of faith, and people didn't understand. So to a lot of people, I look like the most irresponsible, stupid fool that has ever existed. You get? Because me, guys will be like, "What do you need for the wedding?" Me, I'll be like, "You just pray about it." Me, I'm not here to start telling you a list of things.
So guys, I'm sure even guys are thinking you've lost.
Guys even went to tell my wife, "What are you doing to marry this guy? Why are you marrying this guy?" Imagine guys who are tight with you saying that. But me, I'm just like, me, I know what I did. You get? And me, I know. And also some of these guys who are telling me this are people who have given money. I wasn't crazy when I was giving you the chums. And I'm telling you, God has told me to give you this. You get? It's not even me. It's not me giving it. God who said, I'm just being obedient. You get? But again, I say, even at that level, now that's when that thing was so hard for me. That our wedding, me and my wife, we say, was the hardest time. And then also, there's fighting happening between me and my folks.
Around the wedding and the planning.
Yes.
And
there's also a lot of crazy things happening because like God tells me, invite your mom for your wedding. I'm like, but I've already invited. No, your real mom. So I picked up the phone. Actually, I had to look for her on Facebook. Found her. Imagine.
That's potentially bringing unnecessary conflict.
No. I didn't care. I'm in obedience. If this thing doesn't work out, I know the way. It's God deciding. You either come through or you don't come through. Let's just say everything came as is. Everything came as is. But now I say I do. We leave that place. Guys go to our digs to have a conversation about how stupid us guys were and how crazy that wedding was. I take my wife to a hotel. And after this, I have no idea where I'm taking her. And I'm like, God, the coming through needed to be coming through. Me, I've trusted you. You better come through. Get a digs. Miraculously, I'm fast forwarding. 7 days after that, millions of shillings started flooding into the account.
From where?
First and foremost, it is from God. I don't want you to think it is from these sources, but it is from God. How God, the sources God uses now, what I will explain to you. Number one, Nazneen calls and she's like, listen, I'm about to leave Chase Bank and we didn't give this job to that company. We gave this job to you. So you need to do this job. Sir, you need to do this job. Sir, cool. We're paying you. Then Chase Bank goes down after we pay. After we did like 2 episodes. In fact, here's one of the episodes to pay. Number one. Number two, YouTube call. No, sorry, not YouTube. Google call. Hi, my name is Landry. I'm like, Hey, I've been told you're the content guy. Me, I've come here to Google Kenya, my friend, and I'm asking people, who does content in this country, and everybody's saying it's you,
It's Richard.
It's Richard. It's Richard, man. Come and let me meet you. So I go and meet him. He says, you are the person we are going to give this money to. So it is your job to push YouTube in this country and across Eastern Africa.
Millions.
In account. Never called me ever again. Till today. Put that money in. In fact, I was just like, what's going on? Put that money into my account. Disappeared. Me and Huku sending him reports. No response, no nothing. 2014. I've got married in August 2014. I'm like, what is going on? Kanjibugo comes. He's like, you guy. Now, you guy, you need to come and work for me. I'm like, nope, I'm not working for anybody who's attached to their company. If you want me to job with you, me and you need to open up a separate company. You will be doing eventing, me, I'll be doing digital. Like, it just starts like this. I took my wife for 3 honeymoons. One of them, we entered the place, Leopard Beach, I remember. They moved us to the presidential suite for a week. I was just like, it was just miracles on miracles on miracles. My wife gets a job 7 days after, because she had just graduated her master's. Literally. Instant miracles. And God told me, because you are faithful, I'll give you. But remember your promise. Your promise is to live like this for the rest of your life. Like I saw insane things.
But the proof is in the pudding, man. If you've actually obeyed and you've gotten millions, I mean, that's what most Christians yearn for. But people are not willing to go the full mile of what obedience calls for. You remember you left Chase, you left Google, you left is it Fountain Media?
Yes.
Now, I think that level of obedience is what you need to emphasize.
But it's insane. It's always for the vision. So now my aim was I wanted to empower people. So what happens is I go back to Carol Mutoko. At this time, Carol Mutoko has left radio. So now she wants to start being in front of the scene. I mean, she wants to do digital.
Yeah.
And she has no idea how to do these things. And she told, there's a guy called Richard. He's a YouTube enabler. That's what now my title became. I became a YouTube enabler for the Eastern African region. You get? So I would now say, okay, come. Let me help you shoot this thing. Let's put this thing away.
And you guys let bygones be bad.
There was nothing. Forgiveness is a thing that I have no problem with. We don't reconcile with everybody, but I have no issue with it. You get? Because it only makes me poisonous if I hold on to it. No matter how I've learned this is a thing you have to do.
So this is now we're in 2015.
December 14th, 2014. I get married. And then that same day, I look at my wife. I'm like, let me now help your music. So we start something called 52 Weeks, 52 Songs. Because I was going to musicians, I'm telling them, you guys, let me help you. Guys are just like, just shoot for me a music video. You shoot for me a music video. I'm like, no, I want to shoot for you all these other things. Forget music video.
Behind the scenes, behind the scenes.
Exactly. That's what I want to do for you. So we start that. We start my wife, 52 Weeks, 52 Songs. And we say, if this thing is big, if this thing is successful, we're going to do gigs in other countries. Let's just say me and my wife went to Zimbabwe that year. Big shout out to Jim.
Based off that?
Yes, based off that. Based off the MN project.
Mara tena napita kwenye bonde la mauti. Mara tena mizigo ni mizito moyoni. Mara tena natia shaka kwamba nina ushindi. Najua vyema kwa nguvu zangu mimi siwezi. Moyo wangu usisononeke, kumbuka aliyokutendea, usichoke kumsifu Bwana, inuka. Nitakukimbilia ewe Bwana wa mabwana, nitakutazamia kwako nina msaada. Nitakukimbilia ewe Bwana wa mabwana, nitakutazamia kwako nina msaada. Kuna yale ulioniahidi Bwana, na bado hayajatimia kamwe. Ulisema nitafute ufalme wako kwanza, na haya yote wewe utayaongezea. Moyo wangu usisononeke, kumbuka aliyokutendea, usichoke kumsifu Bwana, inuka, inuka. Nitakukimbilia ewe Bwana wa mabwana, nitakutazamia kwako nina msaada. Nitakukimbilia ewe Bwana halitarudi tupu, litatimiza uliokusudia, nitafanikiwa, umenishindia, na sasa ninaimba, sasa ninaimba, oh, nitakukimbilia, ewe Bwana wa mabwana, nitakutazamia, kwako nina msaada, nitakukimbilia, ewe Bwana wa mabwana, nitakutazamia, tazamia msaada,
And how is you said digital?
So now-
YouTube enabler.
Yes, YouTube enabler. It was my job to go around the country and the region. So I went to Tanzania, I went to Uganda, but there the internet infrastructure was a bit less. That's what made me understand Kenya is so special.
So ahead, man. Even than
No,
SA.
yes.
Than SA.
By far. By far. One of the things that happened now during that time, another miracle. So now me and Kanji open up this company called Storm Creative Agency. So imagine, Chase Bank has paid, YouTube has paid, open up this company. I'm getting a salary from this company. And then now we started Storm Creative Agency. Now, this Kijiji did the eventing world. So there were Safaricom Live, all of those kind of eventing.
Yeah.
Me, I was like, there's this thing called digital. So I want to do, well, companies are doing this, I want to do the digital side. So I remember our first company that we pitched for, where digital won, but not the experiential, was Carlsberg. So we became the digital company for Carlsberg. But then, one day, now I start talking everywhere on Facebook, on YouTube. I start telling guys 3 words, guys: mental digital shift. Mental digital shift. I used to just try and tell guys, you need to get onto digital. Like, just make the leap onto digital. Make the leap onto digital. No, because of writing these things all the time, a lady called Judy Bogonko comes to me and talks to me. She was at ICA Lion at the time. She's like, hey, dude, tell me more about this thing. So I tell her. She's like, actually, this is not for my field. She was in customer service. But this thing, you need to speak to the marketing person. God bless you, Nkatha. So I tell this thing to Nkatha. The chick is so blown away. She's like, I see a lion, I've been looking for this thing. Like, what on earth is this? Like, what? Go through the process, we become the company. Put in a few millions now into Storm Creative Agency. You get?
Yeah.
But then at that point...
Wait, is CTA?
No, CTA right now is the MN project where I'm just helping my wife. But also I loved it. It was a hobby. Now I'm even breaking rules. I bought a camera, I bought equipment. I'm just shooting. I'm learning how to shoot. I'm learning how to edit. I'm learning how to do these things. Because everybody was so old school. I'd shoot even with Caroline. And I'm like, tell my editor, that time Derek at the time, edit this thing. Derek told me, okay, it's going to take 3 days. I'm like, no, I want it in an hour. Whoever does that. I'm like, sawa, let's figure it out. So I do it. On YouTube, this time in 2014, I'm following a guy called Casey Neistat. I'm following a guy called Gary V. No one knows who Gary V is in this thing.
Gary V, the Bitcoin guy? The crypto guy?
No, Gary V, the digital guy. So Gary V is the version of me abroad who's talking like this. So every time I'm hearing Gary V talking, I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm seeing Casey Neistat, what he's doing. I'm like, phew, there's somebody. Like, this is the direction we need to go. You get? So I just keep pushing. This MN project, Caroline Toko, we're pushing. We're breaking rules. I'm learning how to edit. I'm at Kijiji. But then now, after this, we get this ICA Lion job. I'm like, you know what? I pitched this thing. We won this gig. That gig, I think, was about 10M. We won this gig. This was all my idea. I pitched it solo. I went to meet them solo.
But you have a partner.
Yes. I'm like, the best thing that ever happens. My idea works. I'm not crazy. I quit. I left. That's the PG version. But I left. You get? I left and I said, I'm forming a company. And I'm going to call that company 4Up Digital.
So you left after delivering or you get... Or...
No. I even said, no, I'm leaving even with a jobo. I'm leaving you with a jobo. You get? Me, I was happy that this mental digital shift, this world that I thought...
It's starting to pay off.
It works. It makes sense. Like, it's not even starting to pay off. I'm not crazy. Like, people are buying into it. I'm seeing, you get. Remember, I'm so ahead at this time. The only other person who's thinking like this, in my view, is Mark Kaigwa.